I'd like to introduce you to Kate, who's here to talk to us about TICA and the household pet and what it means to have a household pet and to still be part of a cat show.
Okay, so how many people, is this your first cat show? Yay! I knew the answer to that. So, a little bit about me. My husband and I started showing in March of 1994 in the Houston area, and we decided to take 3 cats to a show. And because our vet said, oh, these would make great cats to show in household pets, and I had no idea that you could show a household pet. So we went, we had a blast, and we had pets that did well. So that was kind of the hook right there. We've shown Burmese, Bengal, Tonkinese. We raised a few Tonks for a while. And in 2001, 2002, we had our first international winner, who is no longer with us, but we had international fourth best household pet adult. We took a break for about 8 years, and then we came back for a year and a half, took a little bit more of a break, and now we are back. I love household pets. I'm passionate about them. I'm passionate about telling people about showing household pets. Our girl that we picked up from a shelter in the Houston area last year went on a 3-show reign of terror, as I love to call it, and she ended up international second best household pet kitten. So I'm excited to go to the banquet tonight and pick up her award. From the beginning, TICA was founded in 1979, and from the beginning, they have honored the household pets. There's always been a place for the household pets in TICA, and TICA is the world's largest genetic registry, but yet they pay homage to these guys, the household pets. What can be a household pet? Anything. Anything, any cat. In fact, this guy right here, he is actually a non-standard American bobtail, and he has a tail that's too long. He's a little cross-eyed, but he's one of the things that makes a household pet a household pet. They like to have fun in the ring. Now, does that mean they're always going to play? No. They don't have to play to be a household pet, but it's fun when they do. The household pets, you can show them from the age of 4 months until they turn 8 months, and that's a kitten. This guy is actually a kitten. He's a ginormous kitten, but he will be moving into the adult class here soon. And at 8 months of age, they must be spayed or neutered before beginning in the adult class. So one of the questions that I had to kind of ponder is, why show household pets? Why show them? And my first thought is, why not? It's a lot of fun. I've made friends over the years, and in fact, I was going to say there's a picture of my dear friend Sean and me. You make friends, you learn more about cats. You learn more about the health of cats. TICA is always doing and involved in research and grants for research for cat health. And so that's one of the things, you're learning more, but you're also able to then talk to people that stop by your benching cages and find out more about cats, but the cat health, grooming, feeding, and then the important things, spaying and neutering. breeders breed for a standard, and they spay and neuter everything else. And these guys should be spayed and neutered. And then the other reason to show, we have fun. We're throwing a big party tonight, but we have fun. And then going back to friends. I've made many friends over the years, and even though we showed for a while and we stepped away, we came back, and it was awesome to see some of the friends that we hadn't seen in years. So, how do you show a household pet?
Can you just talk a little bit about going to a shelter and the fact that these cats don't have to be perfect, whereas a show cat can't be deaf, can't be blind, can't be anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, so one of the beautiful things about showing a household pet is it can be everything. That was one thing I did mean to cover on that one. There are cats that have missing tails. There are cats, occasionally you might see one that's blind. And so long as they're comfortable with it. Why are you biting me? Are you bored? What are you doing? But yeah, they don't have to be perfect. Now you do want to do your best to groom them, and there's a lot you learn along the way, grooming them. And that was one of the things I was gonna get into is in getting ready to show them is kind of the process of getting them used to things like big open halls and noises and baths. What? Do you want to go back? He says you didn't bring me a toy to play with. Getting them used to baths. Where are you going?
You can put him back.
You're going to go back. Getting them used to how they go into a cage and out of a cage. But yeah, they don't have to have all these perfections that we want to see in our pedigree cats. They have a standard that they have to adhere to, and that's what the judges are looking for. These guys, they need to be healthy. We'd like for them to be happy. Sometimes they're a little shy in the beginning, and that's the amazing thing about our TICA judges, as they take the time with them. They don't rush through. They can tell when a cat's a little unsure, and sometimes they just need a show or two to get that out of their system. Going back to imperfections, there's been tripods that have been shown. I thought there was going to be one here this weekend, but they didn't enter. But I know there's at least one tripod that's showing this season. But yeah, they can have an ear that's torn. Sometimes you get a cat that had been marked as trap and release. Thank you, TTNR. And so they might have that ear that's been snipped, but somebody has taken them in and they've settled in and they try showing them. That doesn't count against them. You want their ears to be clean. You want them to be in good physical condition. You do want to bathe them. I know some people are terrified of that, but really, honestly, I can tell the difference in my cats that are regularly bathed and my cats that aren't as regularly bathed. And it's just so much better for them. It gets all of the dirt and the grease and everything out of them. And you'd be amazed at how easily most of them adjust to it, especially if you get a younger one. But so getting them used to big places. I like to take my guys, put a harness and a leash on them, put them in a backpack, or a flight bag or something like that, I go into PetSmart and Petco and Tractor Supply. Don't come into the library like that. But places that are okay with you bringing the pets in and allow them to get used to it. So bring them in and then you can take them out. You've got that harness on them, and especially these warehouse with the big open. I've found over the years that's one of the things that can be the most unsettling for them to come to, is where there's, you know, this big openness. So taking them out and taking them a variety of places where they can get used to that is very, very helpful. So how do you enter your cat? Well, one of the first things you need to do is go to the TICA website and look at the calendar, look for upcoming shows, and when you click on that, it's going to give you a lot of information. If it's your first show, it's going to be like information overload about everything going on with that show, from the deadlines that you need to meet, to the location, to show hotels. There's a lot of information there. But there's also the entry clerk's information, as well as show manager. And the entry clerk is a great person that if you have questions along the way to reach out to. Registering your cat with TICA, it's a one and done. So you register them once, you don't ever have to do that registration again. And so you register them, and then that registration number is what you use when you're entering your cat. And then pick a show name that you like, because you don't want to have to go through and change that name again. But most of these cats, they've got a name that's their call name. This guy is Gretch. But his show name is The Pretender of Chaos. Chaos is our cattery name, and you do not have to breed to get a cattery name. We did raise Tonkinese a long time ago, but we don't breed anything anymore. You want to come back out, Reg? And getting them used to coming out that way, because that's the way that the judge takes them out, because that's the way that's safe for them. So getting them used to things like that. So registering your cat, and then you want to enter your cat in the show. And again, the entry clerk is there. They're your point of contact for anything that might be going on, any questions that you've got. They're that point of contact for the show. And then make sure you pay your entry fees. Those clubs need money. Don't wait. Please pay your entry fees so that they can continue to put on shows and not have to take it out of their own pocket. And then preparing for the show. That's a whole nother. Information session there on preparing for the show. But I like to point out the preparation of the cat as far as getting them out and interacting with their surroundings and big spaces and everything. That to me is the most important. And people can reach out to me if they have questions about, well, where do I buy all these things that I'm seeing here in the show hall? What kinds of things do I need to pack? And but like I said, that's a whole nother information there. So, like I said, preparing them. I would say the biggest thing is getting those outings, getting them used to being groomed and combed and bathed. Yes, handsome. Yes. We like to leave crates out and put pads in them so that however you're transporting them doesn't become something frightening. It's something that's normal and around the house for them. Play loud music around the house. You can even play sounds of like kids screaming and stuff, but you want to have loud noises around your house, because this is a loud environment. And the more you just, I mean, we listen to movies really loud and all kinds of noises going on. So if your household tends to be quiet, make it noisy to prepare these cats. That's very helpful. And if you have neighbors, if you don't have any kids and you have neighbors that you want to pay to come over and harass your cats, you know, that's another bonus there. Grandkids, that kind of thing. So these guys can earn titles, and they can earn regional and international awards. And so each household pet, after they're handled, they receive a merit for them being able to be handled, and they're cleaned, and they meet the basic household pet standards there. Are you ready to go up? You're being a turkey. Say, Mom, I want to play. I want to play, and you didn't give me a teaser. So they receive that, and then if there's more than one in the same division, and there again, that's a whole nother, there's, how many divisions? 30, yeah, so that's a whole nother way.
8 is 32.
Yeah, 32, okay. I looked it up last night and I went, so he is in the pointed division, and so he would be in, and he's long hair, so he's long hair and pointed. And so the other cats that are in that same division, they would be judged against one another after they've received their merit. And so then the judge has to decide who is the best in the division, and the second best, and the third best. And then from there, they've got to come up with their finals.
So it's important to say that household pets, it's the only time it's a judge's discretion.
Yes.
So if at one point I want a playful cat, or a cuddly cat, or even a scared cat, it's totally up to the judge. So, and that's why we have 12 to 14 judges. So it's fair to everybody.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A scared cat can win. There's some, I've had a cat that we showed twice, and he was just terrified both times. And he actually got a best from somebody, because they were just, I mean, he met everything else, and he was just like this with the judge. He wasn't trying to run away, but it just struck with the judge that that's, in that moment, what they felt. And that's the other beauty of it, is just seeing that so many different cats can be best. You know, and again, that's what I said earlier, they don't have to play. That's not a requirement for them to play. I love for my cats to play. There's times in which they're looking at that teaser going, you mean what? And I'm sitting there going, but you were just playing with that 2 seconds ago. Again, the judge doesn't have to take a cat that plays. There could be something that from, oh, thank you. There could be something from that judge's childhood where they had, you know, a Siamese cat growing up, and so they just love a Siamese looking cat, or the black cat. They love black cats. Now this guy will play until he's panting, literally panting. It is actually an American bobtail trait that they will play until they pant. But yeah, he's crazy. I don't know if I can get him to. You want to spin? I had him spinning last night and then panting. But I mean, as cute as that is, that doesn't mean he's gonna be best. And that again is the thing that I love about showing the household pets. You could have that cat that just sits there like this beautiful statue, and that's what the judge loves. So that's, you know, one of the things that I think is cool about showing them, is everybody has a chance. you know. So they earn points for titles, and the biggest title is the Supreme Grandmaster. And along the way, they're also, as they do finals, they're earning their points for regional and international awards. And those points count the same. So it counts for both your regional and your international